every day, late at night, not okay, all I want, and I pray.
Hello guys, what's going on? In this tutorial I want to speak about Celery. Celery is a task manager in a Python, and we usually use Celery in the Django frameworks and in our Django projects for managing asynchronous tasks. So I think it is an essential topic for any backend developer and specifically Django developers. So I decided to make a tutorial for this topic and use Celery technology in our project, our shop project that we created in the previous tutorials. Actually, I think most of the projects need to do some tasks in a synchronous manner, and so they will need things like Celery for managing those tasks. I also created a Medium article for this tutorial. I will put the link of the article in the video description. Let's start the tutorial, and this was our project that we created in the past tutorials. And first of all, I want to initialize Git in this project. So I will go ahead and write Git init, and then I wanna add the git ignore file, so I can ignore some files or directories from our Git repository. Usually we put .env file in this git ignore, and also images, and also .pyc file. So pyc files are Python bytecode files that Python will create for Python files, and it is something like caching and improves the Python application speeds. Okay, I think our git ignore is complete and it's completed, and other files are okay to add them into our git repository. Okay, I staged them, and let me to write a commit message. Initialize project. Okay, we initialize Git into this project. Now I want to publish my local Git repository to my GitHub account. So I'm going ahead to my repositories in the GitHub, and then click on the new button, and let me name it shop YouTube tutorial, and this is Django tutorial series for my YouTube channel, and public. And I'm going to use I'm going to add a new remote to our local repository, and then git push origin head or master. Okay, now we have the project in GitHub. Okay, now I want to do some organization in our project structure. So I want to move Django related files or directory to a specific directory, and uh, deployment configuration and some things like git ignore or requirement.txt or Docker file. Also, I want to organize them into root directory. So in the root directory, we will have configurations and Docker configurations, Git configurations, and image packages that need, requirement file. These are files that we will have in our root directory, and our Django files will be placed in a specific directory. So let me go ahead and do this organization. So I will create a temp directory and we'll put Django files into that. So then I rename it to the shop. So in the shop we have in the shop directory we have files and directories related about Django, and in the roots directory we have deployment configurations, git configurations, or environment variables, and etc. So let's stage the changes and commit them. Now I want to go ahead and dive into the main section of this tutorial. So first of all, I need add some packages to have Celery in our project. We need Redis, and Redis, we will use Redis as a message worker between API service and Bit and worker. And Celery package, and we will add these two packages to requirements.txt. Then we need to add new services to Docker Compose. So we need Redis services. So I have add a new service as
named shops Redis, and I used Redis 6.2 version. And I also add a service for Shopbit, named Shopbit, that we will run a bit section of Celery, and it is better to this service launch after the ShopDB and ShopReady service, so the functionality will be always correct in this way. And also I have added shop worker. So workers are components that do the main task. And I also changed the command of our shop API, because we changed the directory of manage. So I had shop directory in the command, and then I need some other changes into Django itself. So in the settings I have added uh, uh, Celery related settings. So as you can see, we have a broker URL. So our broker is Redis. Uh, it is better to use RabbitMQ. RabbitMQ is a specifically designed module for message broking. So it may be better to use Rabbit MQ because instead of Redis, and we also specifies Celery result backend and Celery time zone and others or others settings. So then we also have to create a Celery file in the shop directory. So we initialize our Celery here. We also read config from our Django config, and we tell to Celery that automatically load task from installed apps. And also we added these lines to the init file of shop. So this will make sure us that Django will automatically import a Celery module, and will start Celery module automatically. And that's it. There is 5 changes that we made to our repo, and now I'm going to test the application. So let's see if everything works. And we will check like messages, so we can ensure that if we have any problem or not. So as you can see, shop API is successfully run, and shop worker or Celery worker also successfully run and ready for doing tasks. And also Bit started, and database also ready to accept connections, and Redis database or Redis also ready to accept the connection. So here we have successfully added Celery to our project, and in the next step we want to use Celery for specific tasks. Now let me add these changes to our Git. So I'm going to stage the changes. I also need to add it's better to add this Celery bit schedule to our Git ignore. So this is related to runtime, and we don't need to add this file to our Git. So I'm going ahead and add that to our Git ignore. Okay, and update our Git ignore. Okay, so the commit message will be add Celery So, and what I'm going to do is add new field to our product model. So I'm going to our product app and product model, and here I want to create thumbnails from images. So each product should have a image, and maybe this image size, maybe it is possible to has a large image. So we want to have thumbnails, and we want to use them in the list operation in the, for example, in front side. We want short images or images with low size in our listing section or in our website or application. So I'm going to create a new field, thumbnail field, and also changes. I'm going to change upload to directory, so we can have more organization to our images. Okay, now we have added thumbnail field or new field to our product model, and also we changed the image upload to section, so we have more organized images. And now I want to go to our API container, and so I need to do make migrations. So I create a new migrations file, shop API bash, and then I need manage file, Python manage make migrations. So we created new migration file, and then I'm going ahead and migrate migrations. And as you can see, we successfully migrated our new migration. So I'm going ahead and add thumbnail field to our serializer, and I think there is a good point to make a commit here. So feed add new add thumbnail field to product model. Okay. Now I want to test our endpoint. So I want to make sure that anything is not broken. So I will create a new product. So as you can see, we have new database, and our I drop it raster database and created new one. So our ID started from 1. As you can see, we successfully created our product, and thumbnail is not. Okay, now I'm going ahead and do some changes on our settings, and I want to specify media URL, so in which address we should serve our media files, and media route that specify in which file system address we want to store our media files. I have described it why we want to specify values for this configuration, so you can check a Medium article. And I want copy these and put them in my settings. And next I want to do some changes on my URLs are in our main URLs file. So in this way we can include media root and media URLs, so that media files can be servable by our Django server. And another import is this. And another thing, we're going to update our git ignore files. So media directory will not publish to git. Actually, we don't want to publish our images or our CSS files or this static files publish it to our GitHub or GitLab, commonly Git. And another thing is, now I have to do some volume mapping to our shop worker, because currently shop worker has not access or run access to our medias. So I want to do a mapping here and give and actually put media files to correct path. So I changed the shop worker, and now we usually put asynchronous tasks in the specific file named tasks.py. So here I'm going to create a new file, and this file name is task.py, and then I will copy the function that I prepared before, and this function will create a thumbnail from product image. So as you can see, this function gets product ID and load the product and load the image content, and we shrink the image size to 160 for width and height, and then we save it to product thumbnail. So another thing that we should do is overriding our model save function. So we want in save function check that if the object is new, we should create a thumbnail from that object, from that image object. Okay, so these are changes that we have to do, and I'm going to test. Okay, we successfully run. We successfully set up our services, and now I want to create a new product with image, and after some seconds the thumbnail of product will be created and stored into that product. So let me create a new product here. So as you can see, we created a new product with ID 14, and I want to get its details. So as you can see, we successfully created a thumbnail for it, and here I want to test that. Maybe here. As you can see, the size of image was shrinked, and this is the original file or original image, and this is a thumbnail that this is the thumbnail that we create. So as you can see, we in the creation we immediately send response to the client, so object created with status code 201. But in the side process, we create a task. You can check that in the Docker Compose log. So if we if we check here, we can actually check the creation of tasks. So let me create another object. So you can see that object created, and then task product tasks create product thumbnail received. So this task received by shop worker, and then task successfully completed or ran by a full fork pull worker 8 in the 0.2 seconds. So in this, actually let me stage the changes. And I'm going to stop the Docker Compose and our services, and then push the changes to our Git repository in GitHub. So in this video and in this tutorial, you saw that how we can create a asynchronous task for doing a side process, and how you can call them. So here, as you can see, we check if the primary key of or ID field of object is none or not. If was none, we then can say that the object created, and in the creation we call the create product thumbnail task, and this will called asynchronously, and we immediately send response to the client. So in orally we learned that how we can use asynchronous tasks in tutorial, and I hope this tutorial would be good and beneficial for you. I hope you enjoy that, and thank you. Bye.